Welcome to part 2 of our DSM demo series. In this one, we're going to have a look at how to create a database in Data Services Manager. So we saw in the previous demo that we have images for both MySQL and Postgres. So let's go ahead and build some of these databases. We'll begin with a Postgres database. So we just select the Postgres database engine and then the version of that engine that we want to build out. We need to give it a name. And we need to select a topology. So is this going to be a standalone database or is it going to be a replicated database for high availability? Let's build a replicated one. The database name automatically assumes the same name as the instance, and we automatically build a default PG admin user for the database as well. We don't have directory services enabled, but you can absolutely give it a DNS name. So our infrastructure policy, there is only one, which is why it's automatically selected. Same with the storage policy, but we have multiple VM classes that we can choose from in our infrastructure policy. Backups are enabled by default, but you can, of course, turn them off. And there's the backup location. There is only one, which is why it's automatically selected. There's a default backup schedule, which you can, of course, modify. And the same goes for lifecycle management. There's a maintenance window that you can modify. We support any parameter that you wish to add to the database, any supported Postgres parameter. We're not going to do any in this case, but just to show you that it can be done. And we'll just initiate that. Now, there are some special names that we cannot use. We cannot use databases that begin with the name PG for Postgres. So we just need to change that. And I just wanted to call that out just so you're aware. So let's call it Demo01 instead of PG Demo01. And that should allow us to go ahead and create the database successfully now. And let's try to create, and that now has taken place. So I'm not going to keep you waiting for multiple minutes waiting for this to actually go through. We can speed things along. What I did want to show you is the status flag post that we have in the status fields. You can actually check the various transitions that the database is going through. And because, of course, it's Kubernetes underneath the covers, it will be eventually consistent there. So it will highlight certain issues during the deployment process. But as I say, it should be eventually consistent. So great, the deployment has succeeded. We can look at various configuration options such as the 3 nodes that are making up the database. We can look at the backup schedule. We can see our first full backup has already taken place. We can generate logs if we so wish, and so on. So that's our Postgres database created, and we can just copy the connection string to connect to that database or pass the connection string off to another user if they wish to access the database. In our dashboard, we can see now that we have a single Postgres database created in DSM. Let's now go ahead and create a MySQL one. The steps are much the same. Select the engine, select the version. This time MySQL takes a group name. Topology again, 1 node, standalone or 3 node. Give it a DNS name. Once again, there's only a single infrastructure policy, so that's automatically selected for us. There's only a single storage policy, that's selected, but we have multiple VM classes, and we can choose any of those. We can choose the disk size as well. Same process as before. Backups are enabled by default. Lifecycle management maintenance windows enabled by default. We can again add any advanced options to MySQL that are supported. And again, click on the Create Database option. So that's the database initiated, or the creation of the database initiated. Again, I'm not going to keep you hanging around. We'll speed things along. Database is in a ready state. Let's look at the summary. You can see once again that the replication has taken place across multiple VMs. You can see the relationship between VMs and database nodes. See the backup, the logs, the operations. All of that information is available. Now, one of the key goals of DSM 2.x is to enable the VI admin to have much the same visibility into the databases that are being provisioned as a DBA through the DSM UI. So you can see here in the vSphere client, various information about the databases. We can click into the databases and see the Postgres. We can see the MySQLs. We can see the details of the MySQL databases, what VMs are related to which nodes. And indeed, we can get all the same type of information in the vSphere client that we can get in the DSM UI. So that completes part 2 of the demo. Thank you for watching.